Hi guys, welcome back again to the channel. I'm Chisom Ene. If you are new here, please subscribe to join the family. Thank you so much. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to draft ladies notched collar jackets. As you can see on the style, this is actually the style we are going to make. I'll be making the complete style. That is the notched collar jacket and the skirt. But I'm going to start with the jacket. Then after drafting the jacket, we'll draft the two-piece sleeve for the jacket using the basic sleeve. Then after that, we are going to draft the skirt. That is the basic skirt, the short skirt, to complete the skirt and blouse. So today we are going to start by drafting the jacket. This is the material for the style. This will be for the jacket and this will be for the skirt and the collar. So with that being said, let's get started. So guys, to draft the jacket, we are going to make use of this basic bodice block. If you have not seen the video on how to draft basic bodice block, please go ahead and watch it. I'll leave the link in the description box. Check it out and watch it so that you understand every part of this tutorial. So we are going to start by transferring these bodies into another pattern paper because of all the alterations we are going to do. So I will repeat everything here except the side dart. So guys, this is what I have now. Here I have 3.5 inches allowance here. This place will cover for the button overlap or button allowance and the lapel. Then up here I have 6 inches allowance which will cover for the collar. Here the length of the bodice is 24 inches, but the length I have here is 27 inches because the jacket is going to be a bit long, okay, as you can see on the style. So I have 27 inches here as the length of the jacket. So for emphasis, let me explain what I have here. This is from shoulder to this point is the bust point line. This is the waistline, and then this line represents the length of the jacket. I'm going to insert the hip measurement here. So these are the vertical measurements. By the time you watch this, the drafting of these basic bodies, it will be more clear. You understand it better. I'll try and explain it in such a way that after watching this video, you should be able to make a jacket for yourself. So relax and watch the video to the end. And please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to join the family and turn the notification bell on so that anytime I drop any video, you'll be notified. Of course, after drafting the bodies, we are going to draft the sleeve, the two-piece sleeve, the skirt, and we are going to sew it. So you need to be notified. Don't forget to turn the notification bell on. I'm going to start by increasing the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I have here is 8 inches. But because it's a jacket, I'm going to increase it a bit, just a little, by 0.25 inch. So I'm going to extend it by 0.25 inch. This is what I have here. Here at this point, I'm going to lower the armhole by 0.5 inch. I extended the shoulder by 0.25 and I will lower the armhole by ½ inch. This is because we need the armhole to be free. So I'm going to connect it like this. So this blue line here represents my new armhole curve. The next thing we're going to do is to add ease allowance. So what I have here is my actual body circumference measurement. So I'll be adding 0.25 ease allowance on the bust, at the waist, and at the hip. So guys, we're done with this side. The next thing to do is to work on this allowance on this side. So here we are going to draft the button allowance here. So to draft the button allowance or the button overlap, I'm going to come to the waistline and measure 2 inches. So I'm going up by 2 inches. This is where I'll be placing my button. You can place your button at any point. You can place it at the waist or at the bust point or anywhere. This is just depend on what you want or on the style you are working with. So, and at that point, I'll measure 1 inch. This 1 inch is going to be my button allowance or button overlap. So I'm going to connect. So guys, this is what I have. So this place that I'm going to place my button is also called the breaking point, which is also where the lapel is going to start from. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is to draft the lapel. The wideness of the lapel for me is going to be 2.5 inches. So I'm going to measure 2.5 inches like this and mark. This is not fixed. You can start to make it 2 inches or 3 inches. It depends on how wide you want the lapel to be. So feel free to do what you want. So I'm going to extend the neckline to meet this 2.5 inches. You can decide to extend the neckline in a straight form like this, and you are good to go. And then again, you can decide to extend it in a slant form, and also you are good to go. Just feel free to be creative. Just go with what you want exactly. So for me, I'm going to be extending the neckline in a slant form like this. I'm going to extend it for like 1 inch gap from the straight line like this. I hope it's clear. So I'll measure 1 inch, and this is how I'll place the ruler to extend it. So this is now the neckline for the jacket. Okay, so having extended it, yeah, it's 2.5. The next thing we are going to do now is to connect from this point to this point, and then this will be the lapel. It's as easy as ABC. In this case, you can extend your line in a straight line like this, or you can extend it in a curve shape or curvy shape. So feel free to do what you want. Okay, so I'm going to be extending mine in a curvy shape like this. This is how I want it. So go ahead and do what you want. So I'm going to extend it like this. So having gotten the lapel and together with the button allowance, the next thing for us to do is to determine the type of dart we need for the jacket. Now if you want, you can go with this basic dart, this waist dart. You can go with it if you want. Then if you want, you can make a princess dart, and in that case you will just take the midpoint of the armhole and extend this line to that point if you are interested in making a princess dart for your jacket. And then again, if you still want a shoulder dart for your jacket, then we are going to take the midpoint of this shoulder and extend this line to that point. So the choice is yours. But for this tutorial, I'll be making use of a shoulder dart. So I'm going to take the midpoint of this shoulder here. So what I have here is 5.5 inches. Then 5.5 inches divided by 2 will give us 2.75 inches. So which is this point. So this is the midpoint of this line. So I'm going to connect from this to this. So you can decide to make a straight line to that point, or you make a curvy line to that point. So any one you choose to do is perfectly okay. So I want my line to be slightly curved like this. And at this point, I'm going to extend this line to the length of the jacket like this. So this is it for the dart. So the next thing we are going to do now is to draft the collar. The collar that will connect the back neckline and the front neckline. I hope you understand. In a situation whereby you don't want collar for your jacket, then we are going to stop here. But in this case, what we are drafting is a notched collar jacket. So we need the collar. So guys, to draft the collar, we are going to make use of the back basic bodies. I've also transferred it into another pattern paper. So this is the back basic bodies. What we are going to do with this back side is to measure the neckline, because the collar is going to pass through the back neckline. So we are going to measure the neckline and then transfer it here. So the neckline for the back side is 3.5 inches. So I'm going to come here and then add the 3.5 inches that we measured from the back bodies. So I'm going to add it here. To get the normal shape for the collar, the normal line, that's the shape for the collar, I'm going to place my ruler like this from the breaking point here. From this point, I'm going to place my ruler like this. It will pass through the neck width here. The reason for placing the ruler like this is just to get the normal shape of the line here. You know, as you can see, the line is not straight, it's in a slanted position. But if you don't place your ruler like this, you may end up drawing your line straight, and this will not give you a good result. I hope you understand what I mean. So I'm going to draw a straight line from here to meet the 3.5 inches that we'll have here. So this is what I have now. And because the neckline, this neckline, the back neckline is not straight, it's in a curvy shape, as you can see. So because of that, we are going to come here and measure 0.5 inch at this point. so that by the time we place it at the back side, it is going to, you know, match up very well. So we're going to measure 0.5 inch like this and connect it back to this place so that it will balance very well at the back neckline like this. So this is what we have now. So we no longer need this line here, so I will cancel it. The next thing we are going to do is to determine the wideness of the collar now. How wide do you want the collar to be? So if you want your collar to be 2 inches, 2.5 inches, 3 inches, so whatever you decide will be the wideness of your collar, you are going to place it here. So for me, the wideness of my own collar is going to be 3 inches. So I'm going to measure 3 inches from this line. So yeah, this is 3 inches. So the next thing to do is to connect this point to this point with a straight line. The reason why you need to slant the line and not straighten the line is so that the collar is going to balance up at the neck very well. I hope you understand. So at this point, we are going to connect from this point here back to the lapel. And because we are making a notch collar jacket, we are going to come here and measure 1.5 inches like this and mark. You can add any measurement here. If you want, you can measure 2 inches or 1 inch, just anything here is okay. So what I have here is 1.5 inches, and I'm going to open up the collar by 1.25. I'll open up this side by 1.25 and I'll be marking it like this. So I'm going to connect from this point to this point with a straight line like this. So this is how I want the opening to be. Okay, so be creative, feel free to do whatever you want, and that is okay. The next thing to do is to connect from here now to this point. Now, another thing here is that you are free to, connect as you want. If you still want, like I normally say, just feel free to do what you want. If you want, you can connect this with a straight line like this. It's your choice. You can design this place. Anything you want to do is perfectly okay. So I'm going to connect with a curvy shape like this. So the next thing we are going to do now is to determine how this down part is going to be. Okay, that is the next thing we are going to do. So if you want your jacket to be straight like this, it's okay. If you want it in this shape, it's still okay. But for me, I don't want the jacket to be straight up like this. As you can see on the style, it is not straight. So for that reason, I'm going to curve this side. And to curve it, I'm going to come to this corner. I'm going to measure 1.5 inches and mark. I'm going to connect with a curve like this from the 1.5 inches. So from there, I'm going to connect back to the breaking point like this. I'll be connecting it to the breaking point. So guys, this is what I have now. So this will be the shape of my own jacket. I'm going to cut from here now. The only allowance I have for the button is just here. Okay, I'll just place my button here and every other thing is in this shape. To this side, I'm also going to curve this side because I don't want it straight up like this. And to curve it, I'm going to come up here by 1 inch only, 1 inch, and connect with a curve in this manner. So this is what I have now. So this is how the down part of the jacket is looking now. Remember, it is optional. Feel free to do what you want. Alright? So now we are done with the front part of the jacket. I will not add sewing allowance on this. But if you want to add your sewing allowance here, maybe 1 inch or anything you want for your sewing allowance, you can add it here. I'll be adding my own allowance, all the allowances I need, I'll be adding it when cutting with my fabric. So I'm going to cut it out now. So at this point, please give this video a like, a thumbs up if you like this video. Please give this video a thumbs up. And remember to turn the notification bell on. And please share to others, you may be helping someone. So here we increase the shoulder by 0.25, and that is here, and then here 0.5. So we are going to connect. This is the armhole, our new armhole for the back side. So here we are going to increase this point by 0.25, that is ease allowance. So the next thing we are going to do is to extend the dart to the shoulder, because we are making use of a shoulder dart for the jacket. So what we have here is 5.5. Divide by 2 give us 2.75, which is here. And we are going to connect it like this. The next thing we are going to do is to come to this point and we are going to go up by 1 inch and connect to blend with the front side. You know, the back side does not have zip allowance, so there's no zip allowance in this pattern. So the next thing we are going to do now is to cut it out. So we are going to cut it on the fabric, and while cutting we place our material on fold and cut. So I'll cut the front side first. I'm going to cut, I will be adding 0.5 inch allowance all through while cutting. So after cutting it, this is what I have for this side. I'm going to cut exactly this with this material for the combination instead of lining, because this side will be showing outside. So now we have 2 and 2. Okay, so this one is going to serve as the lining. I just want to show you the important part, and after that I'll cut the rest off camera to save time. So I'm going to show you how to cut the collar now. To cut the collar, we are going to place the fabric on fold like this, and this side will be on fold. We are going to cut this side at this side that is closed. Okay, so we are going to place it like this. So guys, this is how you cut the collar, and you add any sewing allowance of your choice. So after cutting on fold, this is how it look, and when I open it, this is what I have. So this is how the collar is looking. We are going to cut this collar on this material, and this one will serve as the lining as well, because it's going to show outside. So this is it for the collar. We are going to cut the other ones off camera to save time. So guys, this is the front part after cutting on the fabric, and these are my sewing allowances. So after sewing it, this is how the lapel will look like. So I've already cut the back side as well with my sewing allowances. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and share to others, maybe helping someone. Till next time, I'll see you again. For now, bye bye.